Woo. Ah, see him a beast when you hear that sound like. Ah, yeah, beat on the beat when you hear that sound like. Woo. Yeah, bitch, I'm the champ, only need one round like. Ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G-Ring, he in the sound like.
Returning to Cage Fury at CFFC 128, December 15th. I'm here today with Keith Speed. Keith, how we doing, man?
Doing good, man. We got about 2 more weeks till fight time, so just getting ready.
And your last win, man, is coming over Charles Bennett. Charles Bennett, for whatever reason, he gets a lot of attention on like Twitter for his record and his personality. So, like, what was it like fighting someone like that?
Fighting Charles is definitely different because you never know what to expect from him.
Yeah.
And I mean that you don't know what to expect from him from like weigh-ins. We had a little media thing. You don't know what to expect from him there. You definitely don't expect him in the cage. So he's definitely someone that keeps you on your toes because you don't know how to prepare for him. You like at no point in time, you never know what he's going to do. So he's a difficult one to prepare for.
Well, it was a dominant victory. You prepared and you guessed correctly, so to speak. And now, a little short departure and you're back with Cage Fury. You excited to be back with the promotion?
Yeah, I'm excited to be back for the promotion. Yeah, big time.
And was there like a reason for the departure or just, hard to get fights sometimes?
It's just hard to get fights, stuff lined up, stuff like that. They've offered me a couple of opponents that it just didn't work out per se. So it's just one of those things with the game.
Well, I mean, dude, just being a part of Cage Fury, knowing a lot of the roster, they give you 2 tough guys, Mark Gray, and now they're giving you Anthony Dilemme. So, like, what are your thoughts on, before we get into Dilemme, what are your thoughts on, like, just the 2 tough opponents you've had? Like, they're throwing you up against the Wolves. That's what they say in Cage Fury. No easy fights.
I don't mind it, bro. I go against the best every day. So seeing somebody with a good record comes from a good gym doesn't faze me whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like I want to be with the Wolves. That's the whole point of this journey is to get to where the Wolves are, and you got to go through rules to get to where you want to go.
Well, I wasn't insinuating that you're not a Wolf because you're a Wolf too, my friend. And what are your thoughts on Anthony, your opponent for 128?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know like a lot about him. I know he has a good record. I know he comes from a good gym. Um, I know he's a tough competitor. I think he has a few knockouts on his record.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a good guy. Like it's gonna be a good fight, but like, like I feel good going into it. Like no matter what.
And then from what you've seen of him, and obviously you're yourself, your fighting style very well. What kind of stylistic matchup you think you're in for? Like, how do you think your guys' styles are going to clash when you 2 meet?
I feel like he's an explosive guy, which I kind of am myself. So I think it's going to be we're going to see. The real question is who's going to shoot first. Who's going to shoot first? Like, does it stay standing up or does somebody take it to the ground? That's what I think is going to be the biggest question.
And I assume that means you kind of want it to stay standing, still it doesn't. Is that like what you're hoping for?
I don't care. Standing ground, I don't care. Wherever it wants to go, wherever the fight needs to go, I'm cool with it anywhere.
You got any sort of prediction? I don't know if you're a prediction guy.
Nah, I've never been a prediction guy. I'm a go out and win. I don't care if that means knockout. I don't care if that means sub. I don't care if that means we go to the bell and you win a decision. The point is to win, and I don't care how the win comes.
And I mean, Hard Rock, any thoughts on fighting there? Because like that crowd gets crazy. I've been there before. It's a good time fighting at the Hard Rock, and it's not too far from I guess that is kind of a freaking hike from you, right?
Yeah, it's a hike for me, and it's definitely a little. I'll be honest, bro. It's a little cold up north at this time of the year.
It's a little chilly,
like being down here. I've been down in Florida for about seven years now, so I'm a real Florida boy. So that cold weather is a little, especially when you're cutting weight. Ah, it's not the best. But I do like the Hard Rock. I like the venue. It's a big venue. I had fun the last time I was there. I think I'll have fun again.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you there before or after the fight. I'll make sure I say what's up. But interestingly enough, I am interviewing Anthony, I think on Monday. So I like to ask this when I get the opportunity. Anything you'd like me to relay? Any message you'd like me to tell Anthony? Doesn't have to be trash talk, but anything?
I don't got nothing, bro. I'm not really a talker unless somebody else is talking. So like, I don't really got nothing. If he had something to say, I would respond. But hey, bro, I really don't have no message for him.
Hey, say less, man. It'll be a good fight nonetheless. I think that's what you, him, and the fans are all hoping for. And talking about Florida, training at ATT, tell me a little bit about camp. How's it been for those who don't know? Who you're working with, who your coaches?
Camp's been great. This is actually the first time in a long time that I've actually got like an actual camp under my belt. Even the last fight against Charles, I took that fight in like 3 weeks notice.
Yeah.
So it's been good to have a nice camp. I've been working with, the team, the guys, the boys. I've been down here, like I said, for 7 years. I work with everyone. There's no one that I duck and dodge in the gym. And we are the best gym in the world with the best guys. I think I've gotten some good rounds in with like my guys, Nate, Daniel Wyatt, a lot of like good up and comers. Of course, I've gotten some rounds in with some big names like Moicano and stuff like that. So like I feel beyond prepared. Like I said, I train with the best every day.
I have a very random question for you, and it's not even, I don't even have it written down. It just popped in my head. Do you happen to know Coach Phil Daru down in Florida?
Very well. Very
That's
well.
okay. I'm doing an editing job completely outside of MMA, and I've been editing Phil Daru for like some video for a month and a half, and I've been meaning to ask a Florida guy. So that's funny, man. He seems like a cool guy. What's he like in real life?
Phil's my guy, bro. Like that is bro. I have nothing but great things to say about Phil. He's a really good guy. He's a mentor of mine. I've known him. I met him coming down here at American Top Team. We met there. He's recently like they've split ways. But still to this day, I can call him up for anything. I can ask him for anything, any advice where it comes to fitness or just life in general. He's literally like a really, really good guy. Like I have nothing but great things to say about that man. That man's helped me out throughout my career. And like I said, even to this day, he reaches out, gives me advice. Like he's always just a phone call away if I ever needed him. And I think him and his gym is like a really good thing.
Small world, man. Yeah, I've been editing him and Megan Anderson, Maureen Shea, Jerome Baker. I've been editing them working out for some company called Press with Box Set Production. Gave them a random plug. So funny that came up. But along with Florida and ATT, man, I don't get to ask every Cage Fury guy this because a lot of them are up and coming. They're not all from the biggest gyms, but American Top Team, Coconut Creek's one of the biggest gyms in the whole world. So like, how is it working with just the highest talent, the best equipment, the biggest space? Like, what's that like coming from a gym that's not as big as AT&T?
It's it's not for everyone. It's because it's dog eat dog in there. So like it's not for everyone. We compete at a high level every day in practice. You have to be to me, like you have to be like a real fighter. Like it's not a place where you go and like you're worried about your other job. You're worried about this and the third. Like, no, you're here to fight. You're here to train to be the best. You're going to go up against the best. But with that being said, like the knowledge on that mat, bro, like it's amazing because even if like you don't talk to your coaches, like your teammates are black belts, your teammates are top in the UFC, your teammates have been there. So like there's never a point where like you can't go talk to somebody and try to figure something out. Like you feel like there's a hole in your game that you want to work on. A lot of my questions that I do like get solved are come from my teammates. My wrestling has gotten better thanks to the Italian gangster Danny Sabatello. I've gotten better at jujitsu thanks to my friend Sal. I've gotten just by asking questions in the gym because there's just that much knowledge. Like you can't just limit yourself to just talking to just a coach. Your teammates are encyclopedias. There's guys in there with 70 some fights, bro.
Insane.
Crazy amount of fights, like kickboxing fights, jujitsu stuff. Like it is the best thing in the world when it comes to. It's like I try to say it's like being around doctors. Like you know what I mean? People going for the PhD. That's like all those minds are on PhD level, and those are the people you get to surround yourself and talk to. And I think that's the best thing about it.
More than a wealth of knowledge, probably. Yeah, I mean, because I train at a gym we have like 200 members, big jiu-jitsu class will be like 40 people, but the room, it's big, but it's no AT&T. So like when I do an interview at a giant gym, yeah, I think I would get very overwhelmed training in an atmosphere like that, but it works. And one of my buddies, one of your teammates, Riley Palmer, trains at AT&T. He's sharing the card with you.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, you two close? You excited to be making the trip up with him?
Yeah, Riley's my guy. To be honest with you, I don't know yet if Riley's coming. I may have heard something about maybe an injury. I don't want to put that out there, but I don't.
Yeah, we'll
think
keep it at that for now.
Yeah, we'll keep that. But no, Riley, bro, that's my guy. He's a good training partner. He has a ton of energy. Has great wrestling ability. really, really, really solid on the ground. Like really solid on the ground. We actually just shot like a commercial for Venom, me and him.
Oh, really?
So yeah, yeah.
That's cool. I'll tell Riley. I just did an interview with you. And last question about AT&T: who's coming with you to be in the corner?
I will have Thiago Alvarez, Pitbull. Pitbull will be with me in the corner.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Looking forward to it. And just talking a little bit about what's next after this. You get the odds aren't out yet, but it's at the Hard Rock. Presumably, they'll have some betting odds. You're coming in as an underdog for this one. So a win here, man, it's a big one. It's going to propel you forward quite a bit. A big name and over Anthony Dilemme. Like, Cage Fury's going to love that. The fans are going to love that. So what's next in your mind if everything stays healthy, if everything goes well?
If everything goes well, I would just like them to get me back in there ASAP. Like ASAP. Like I don't want to sit out, as long as I did. If everything goes well, I would like to get back in there. And hey, bro, like if you're gonna keep throwing me these dudes, eventually you're gonna have to throw me a title fight. You keep throwing me undefeated people, and I knock a few of them off. You can't argue with me about getting a title shot. So that would be my plan. Keep me active, and then let's go for that belt.
And 2024 is right around the corner. Is it safe to say that's one of your goals for 2024? Get a Cage Fury title?
Yeah, definitely one of my goals. Definitely up there.
And what other goals do you have for next year, man? Year's a long time in MMA. You just said you want to get more active. So this time next year, where do you want to be in your career?
We're in December, so like, man, like I would really like to be knocking on that door, of the next thing. I would really like to be knocking on the door of that big show. Have my name at least in there, on their radar. That's where I would like to be. I like to get a couple jiu-jitsu competitions and stuff like that in just to stay active, but my goal is to get to the next show. That's that.
Most fighters, the next show for them is UFC. I assume that's definitely one of your goals too. But recently, PFL buys Bellator. I've been doing a lot of coverage for PFL, so I have been asking fighters like, is that a big show for you that would be interesting? PFL/Bellator?
Yeah, they got $1 million at the end of that. Yeah, it's a big show. What? Anybody says it's not, they don't want to get paid. I'm confused. The mill's a mill, and plus you make money to the mill. No problem. No problem. Yeah, $1 million is big enough to motivate me. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, and I mean, you got teammates in there who do Bellator, PFL, so yeah, definitely a promotion I think that's worth joining. It's cool in 2024, 2023, whatever, that there's not just the UFC anymore. There's a bunch of big promotions paying out. It's cool, man. The sport's really evolved. And before I get you out of here, Keith, I would like to know, just as a person, what do you got going for the holidays? Anything fun?
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I haven't got to be able to enjoy the holidays yet. I missed Thanksgiving this year. I didn't get to go home and be with my family just due to the fight. Wanted to stay down here, focus, make sure my weight was good, make sure all that. So I will be excited to hopefully go home for Christmas and just be around my family and friends and stuff. Because I mean, I'm not, a Florida boy per se. I am from the Midwest, so it's nice to get that little bit of time home. But as of right now, it's time to focus up, and we can enjoy the holidays after.
And Keith, before I get you out of here, man, I just want to give you the opportunity. UFC Fight Pass, you got a bunch of fans, Florida, backing you. Anything you'd like to say to everybody? If so, the mic is yours. Take it away.
Hey, man, all I'm going to say is just tune in. I think this is going to be a really good fight. I think the fans, I think everybody will enjoy this fight right here. So to me, just tune in and check it out. And I think it'll be a good show.
You heard it from the man himself, Keith Speed. I said Keith. That was weird. I'm going to say it again. Keith Speed, CFFC 128, December 15th at the Hard Rock in AC. Keith, thank you so much for your time, man. Have a great rest of the little training camp here, and I'll catch you in a few weeks.
All right, man. See you in a couple of weeks.